With a sign that Mandy Rose could join AEW and Sasha Banks being turned down by a promotion, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Revealing a time about ring gear he was told not to wear again in WWE, Dolph Ziggler told B-Sox that, "I like leopard print. I got snow leopard gloves, a snow leopard vest, snow leopard trunks, and I got the craziest, biggest purple-orange spray tan you could ever get. And I bleached my hair fresh the night before. I go, this is so outlandish and douchey. It's gonna be great. I loved it and I had a great time. And I got to wrestle John Morrison, one of my best friends. We had such a blast beating the hell out of each other. And I came to the back end in some words I can't repeat. I was told that this would never be worn again. Great match. Don't ever do that again. Okay, I got it. Thank you." On Wrestling Observer Radio, it was revealed that Chris Jericho was supposed to lose to Jungle Boy instead of Action Andretti, saying Jericho was going to do something similar with Jungle Boy, but he didn't want to do it with no crowds. By the time the crowd came back, the whole dynamic had changed and he was in different places and it just didn't fit. To do it now, he could have done it with Jungle Boy, Takeshita, and others. The thing on those is, in all three cases, people watching the match in the back of their heads would go, maybe he's gonna do it. If those guys would have won, it would have been big for them to win, but it wouldn't have been as big a talking point. Giving advice to Mandy Rose following a release from WWE, which had to do with her adult content online, Booker T said on his Hall of Fame podcast, Mandy Rose has the right to put her body or her image out there any way she wants. But this is a young lady who has talent. She has so much more talent than just beauty and how she looks. She's made a hell of a career for herself in the WWE over these last 5 years, and I would hate to see her throw something like that away and fall into a world that is very, very dangerous to fall into. Let's just say that. I'm wishing for Mandy Rose to make a return somehow, some way, and find her way back to WWE. That's just me personally. Talking about the situation with Mandy Rose being fired by WWE, Hall of Famer Madusa said this on Rene Dupree's podcast. "If you're a talent and you're under contract, only you and your lawyer in that contract and the person that you're in contract with know what that is. So you know what's right or wrong. You know, you're just pushing it to a certain extent. You know what you're dealing with. So it doesn't matter what she chose to do. If it's pictures, videos, whatever. Was it okay in her contract to do? I don't know that. You don't know that. Unless she puts it out herself, makes a statement, everybody can talk the way they want. I support whatever was in that contract. That's the legal. And if you want to push the envelope to see what you get by with, then shame on you, right? I'm not saying it was her or her. I'm just saying people in general. If you want a chance, unless she wanted out of her contract and was doing it on purpose and then she got out, well then okay, she got what she wanted. But if not, and if there's some stuff in there, which we'll never know unless she makes it public, then you know, that's her business." Staying on the topic of the former NXT Women's Champion, Jim Cornette said this on his podcast about Mandy Rose's release. "In all honesty, and by the way, I'm completely pro-porn, but if they're supposed to be PG, they can't do Playboy anymore, right? Because they're a PG company. The sponsors, they don't want it. So I haven't seen the material, so I don't know whether it's mild to wild or anything in between. But if the executives of the company that she works for said, well, she's a featured person in NXT and she's the champion and all this stuff, but holy if anybody sees and finds out, you know, that's the thing. If they say, Jesus Christ, you can't, you know, have an Aunt Fanny out there in front of God and everybody, whether it's a private or personal deal or not, or whatever. If it's going to show up on the internet in some fashion, this is probably something you should have not done while representing us. We're trying to do deals with Disney. Then I understand that. The question becomes, which endeavor was she making a bigger profit at? Was she making more money traveling all over the place, getting in a ring with people that are going to land on her and landing on herself and getting beat up or whatever? her, or is she going to make more money in, I assume, a less violent setting, showing off, as Aunt Lola would say, what God gave her? So if it's anywhere close, maybe that's the preferable direction there. But I would think I would understand why you can't do both. They'd be playing video games with wrestling fans and making money at it, that's one thing. Unless, while you're sitting there playing video games, you go, I hate the WWE, I can't wait till I get out of there, well, then that's another thing. But no, not if you're fiddling with the little man in the boat on the movie screen for everybody to see. On Busted Open Radio, former AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa was asked about the firing of Mandy Rose from WWE, to which she said, times are changing. A lot of things are changing. I mean, we know when we sign our contracts and when they give us certain parameters that we have to follow them, and we choose to do certain things, and sometimes we push the envelope. But I want people to take away all the work that Mandy has done in the ring and how much she advanced in her ring skills and everything else as a professional wrestler. I don't want that to take that away, because she is an athlete. She's a wonderful athlete. She's dedicated to what she's done. And having other ventures, like monetary ventures, is not a bad thing. I don't think that. And it's unfortunate that she was released. And I literally was sending her an Instagram message before I heard any of the news. And I feel so stupid afterward. But I just wanted her to know that I was like, as a professional wrestler, I'm very proud of what she's done in NXT and all the hard work that she put in there. And when I got the news, I was like, oh man, this is messed up. Like, I was really excited to see what was next for her. But I'm even more excited now to see what is next for her, because again, she has an opportunity. She has all her ventures. She has a cosmetics line separated from this, the donuts. Now her fan time can go like up to the roof, because I know that she's probably making a lot of dough. So again, it's not like she doesn't have anything, and she's well sought for a lot of people. I mean, she has a huge following. People like what she's doing, and her fiance have a fitness program. So I mean, again, they use an opportunity when this kind of thing happens. It gives you an opportunity to really branch out and see what you really want to do. When it comes to Mandy Rose potentially signing with AEW following her 90-day non-compete clause, it was said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that it was noted by many that Paige Van Zant has a similar site. Van Zant is still listed on the AEW roster, but has not been used in months. Her OnlyFans account, which is believed to have been very lucrative, was around during her run with the company. Talking about plans at the show of shows for WWE, Steve Carrier of Ringside News reported that the road to WrestleMania is starting very soon, but no matches have been made so far. We are told that WWE Creative is currently pitching alternatives for Roman Reigns' match at the show of shows. Speaking about Chris Jericho's previous run as ROH World Champion, Jim Cornette noted this on his podcast. Does anybody else see that it is coincidental or just amazing how this worked out? That Chris Jericho got to defend the ROH World Championship against and defeat in the middle of the ring a different former champion of some description every week on TV for 6 or 8 weeks. On national cable television on TBS with, at least by their standards, a lot of people watching anywhere from 750 to 900,000 give or take. But when it comes time to drop it, oh, I'll be happy to drop that title to Claudio on a Ring of Honor secondary pay-per-view that may not be seen by 75,000 people, much less 750,000. Revealing why the Rusev Day run between Miro and Aiden English was squashed in WWE, Road Dogg said on his podcast. So it's yes, we saw it. Yes, we saw Rusev Day getting over. I honestly don't know what happened to Rusev Day. One day we were pushing it and the next day we weren't. Honestly, when I say we weren't pushing it, it didn't go away. It didn't just disappear. We just weren't doing anything with it anymore. Every time I would pitch something, it would get shot down. So I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say anything because last time I said something, I got a phone call, and I'm not going to have that happen again. But honestly, I don't know what went down that all of a sudden we stopped running with it because it was going really well. I think it was getting over, and I don't know if Vince was a fan of Aiden English. I feel comfortable saying that. I don't know if he was a fan of Aiden English. He's a great singer. He's a great wrestler. He's not a beautiful man, but neither am I. Well, look, his body looks like everybody else's. Just he's not tanned, and he looks like me or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he just looks different. And I don't mean nothing bad by that. You can't say nothing nowadays without having to qualify it with everything. God, the dude is not good looking. What do you want me to say? Former WWE star Velveteen Dream was arrested in Orlando, Florida on August 20th for battery, where he apparently got into a fight with a gym employee where he punched and bit him. In the video, Clark would admit to being a little inebriated. Clark would complain about not being read his Miranda rights and mentioned how the officer effed up for arresting him. Dream would also claim to be a former WWE wrestler, as he would later be charged with assault and trespassing. The matter would be disposed in September after the victim indicated he did not intend to prosecute. Dream would be freed on September 9th on a $1,200 bond. With her able to wrestle for another promotion in 2023, this was said about a turned-down deal from STARDOM for former WWE star Sasha Banks by The Observer. The largest deal we know of was New Japan in the early 90s made a $150,000 per match deal with Hulk Hogan. We haven't been able to confirm what she will be earning or if it's more than Jericho, but those close to the situation did confirm it was a huge per-event deal. A number Rosa Ogawa of STARDOM, when first approached with it, turned it down thinking it wasn't cost-effective. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.